Good evening, strangers. Lenny back. I know it's been a minute. It's been a very long time since I made a video. I apologize, kind of. I've been kind of busy. Work's been crazy. It's been so crazy, in fact, that last month I was Employee of the Month. I know that means nothing to you, probably don't care. Neither do I, to be honest with you, but it's okay. It's okay. So I'm back to make another watch video. In this video, we got two heavy hitters I want to talk about. Cheap watches. It is a cheap watch review channel. One's a little cheaper than the other one. But first I want to do a quick wrist check, and I got this little guy. This is a Vostok. It's a very old Vostok. I believe it's from the 60s. Not exactly sure, but what's cool about this Vostok is it works fantastically. It runs fine. It's a little dirty. You can see some definite patina on the dial, and there's definitely some dust inside that plastic acrylic crystal. But what's crazy about it actually working is when I bought it, it was broken. Paid like 10 bucks on eBay for it, and it wasn't running at all. Wouldn't take a whine, wouldn't do anything. I popped the back of it off, and of course it's got the normal back like a normal Vostok. I fixed it. What happened was whoever took it apart previously didn't put it back together the right way. And everything inside is perfectly clean. It's in very good shape mechanically, and it keeps great time, and I wear it quite often. It's a very small watch though. The case size is 35, 37 if you include the crown. Lug to lug it's 40, and it takes 18 millimeter straps, but it's only 8 millimeters thick. So I like it. I think it's very comfortable. So I'm gonna slap this back on the wrist. All right, there we go. If you don't like wearing small watches because you think they're too small or girly, whatever, I don't care. I wear what I like, and I love this watch. I think it's classy. It's like a field dress kind of. I wouldn't wear it in a dressy situation, that's for sure. It's very fieldy. But anyway, I got two watches to talk about. I did take a break from making videos, but I did not take a break from buying wristwatches. I've actually bought quite a few since we made our last video, and we're gonna get to them. But today I want to talk about one of my favorite watch brands, and that's Timex. Specifically, this one and this one. So the reason I don't have straps on them is because I don't like Timex's stock straps. This one came with a very thick canvas strap, and this one came with a really thick leather strap, and they were the right color, but I don't like them. For that reason, I got a khaki colored NATO for this one and a cheap leather NATO for this guy, and they go great. Maybe I'll slap them on some straps later on in the video. So this is the Timex Expedition Field Chronograph, and it's a very solid watch. It's just a normal old quartz chronograph, except it looks amazing. Very field watch aesthetic. 100 meter water resistance. I mean, it's quartz, so it's gonna last forever. But it is a basic chronograph. It does that. So we got the big hand, or the big seconds for the chronograph seconds, small hand for the running seconds. This dial over here at the 9-ish, 10 o'clock, 11, whatever, that's for the chronograph minutes. And this is for the 10th of a second. So when you stop it, it's gonna tell you what 10th you stopped on. And then you hit the reset button. Ooh, very nice. And you can start over. So it's pretty basic. It's got Indiglo. I'll show you. Nice. But other than that, I think it's a great solid watch. I do have some complaints. Mostly it's the fact that the second hand, the running seconds, is not loomed. For some reason, it's got the same little tip as the chronograph seconds. And to me it seems like at least the chronograph second would be loomed, because the tenths of the second and the minutes are loomed, but not the seconds. Other than that, I think it's a great watch. I think it's very, very comfortable to wear. So the dimensions of it, it's 43 millimeters, so it's kind of large. It's 47 if you count the crown. Lug to lug, it's 50, and the lug width, it takes a 20 millimeter strap. So it wears really nice, and it's it's quite thick at 13. I think that's pretty thick for a chronograph, or at least thick for a quartz, not really a chronograph. But yeah, solid watch, and that's all it does. Tells you the time, tells you the date, and gives you a chronograph. But 100 meters water resistance, and it's just, I don't know, it's pretty sweet. So this is the Timex Intelligent Quartz Flyback. So what makes it so intelligent? Not really sure. It doesn't do much but chronograph function, and it looks fancy. I really like it though. If you notice right now, the date is changing over. I think it's a day behind right now. I haven't worn it in a minute. but start to change over around 10 o'clock, which I'm not a big fan of, but that's okay. So what do we got going on? Right here, we have the big seconds, which I think is cool to have big seconds on a chronograph. And over here we have a 24-hour dial. So right now it's supposed to be somewhere around 20. It's not very, it doesn't point to really the right marker during any time of the day, but it's close enough to give you approximate 24-hour time. So when you pull the crown out, you heard a little beep. This goes to GMT. So the minute hand for the chronograph points to whatever minute the chronograph is going to be set at, or whatever minute the GMT is going to be set at. And this hand over here points to whatever hour you have your second time zone set at. So for me, I just have it set to the same exact time zone. I don't really feel like messing with it. Pull it out again, and now you can adjust. And it does that really cool thing there. Then you set it back, and it tells you what the time is. So the way the flyback works, what makes it a flyback? Well, you hit the start button, and it's actually pretty cool because the chronograph seconds is moving kind of relatively smooth compared to the running seconds. This right here will give you minute intervals up to 10, so it'll tell you what the last digit in whatever minute you're on. It's only handy until 10 minutes, but it does give you 4-hour timer for the chronograph. What I don't understand is why I have seconds, only 10 minutes, but I get 4 hours? I don't know, man. But anyway, so start, stop, and you got reset. Very cool. And a few seconds later, after you've reset it, it'll go back to the 24-hour time. Just a moment. There you go. So when you hit start, this goes back to 0 hours. This goes to 0 minutes, or it stays at 0 minutes, and this large second starts running. But the flyback function, instead of having to start, stop, reset every time you want to reset the chronograph, you just hold the reset button, and it goes back to 12, and then it starts over again. Very cool. I like it a lot. It's very handy for me to measure like short time duration stuff. Honestly, I'm a normal human being. I don't use chronographs all that often, but it's really cool to have something this technical on the wrist. I like it a lot. So, I've always been a big fan of Timex. It wasn't until recently that I realized they actually have some nicer things than what you see at Walmart. They have very elegant timepieces that you can find anywhere. I mean, look at the counterbalance on the second hand here. That's a nice touch. And the bezel ring, the chapter ring with the tack on there, it's kind of got a bevel to it. It's very pretty. So the dimensions on this watch, they're pretty much the same as the chronograph field, or field chronograph. Actually, they're exactly the same, except this one, it is 13 millimeters thick, but you can't really tell on camera, but it has a very, very subtle dome to the crystal. And it's just so nice. You can see it when you're looking at it with your eyeballs. Not really on video maybe, but I really like this watch. So, what else am I working on? So as you know, I'm into watch repair, and one of the things I've been looking forward to do for a while is to get a Seiko SKX and mod it. If you want to get a Seiko SKX to mod, you're going to be spending some money just to get something to take apart and mess with. So what I did was I was looking around on eBay. I've always been checking in on eBay looking at SKXs, and there's a seller on eBay that sells modified SKXs for decent prices. So I bought this ugly little thing. I don't know. It's well done. I'm not a fan of the colors, but for an SKX, I paid $99. That's shipping and everything included. And what did I get? I got a Seiko SKX that happens to look yellow. I know. I don't know if I paid too much. I don't care. I got exactly what I wanted. Now, it is an old Seiko, so there's some dings. There's some scratches. There's a little bit of blemish on it, but the crystal's awesome. The bezel is very solid, and it still keeps great time. So my plan is to modify this into exactly what I want it to be. And what I want to do is make it into a field watch. So I got some stuff coming. The parts that I want to buy is going to be very incremental. I'll make videos as the parts come. The first thing I'm going to do is get myself a bezel and a bezel insert. But that's going to be later on, because I crunched the numbers and everything I want to do to it. a little ridiculous. Gonna cost somewhere around $250 just to make it look the way I want it to. So it's gonna take some time. I'm not gonna just spend that all out. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Hope you got some interest in Timex, and maybe might be looking at buying one yourself. This one costs about 55 bucks on Amazon. This one costs about 95 bucks on Amazon. And there's nicer versions of this one that you can get different color schemes. Of course, there's different color schemes for this one. I just went for the field variants because I want to be able to wear these in uniform whenever the hell I want to. So, if you have any questions, leave me a comment. If you're interested in seeing some more videos, hit that subscribe button, or don't. Do whatever you want, man, as long as you wear what you like. Have a good one.